Hello and welcome to Java course. In this video, we'll discuss the applets. Here, we'll discuss what is an applet, applet fundamentals, applet architectural key concepts. We'll discuss applet life cycle or skeleton, and at the end, we'll discuss some examples of applet.
The objectives of this video is to introduce concept of an applet, to discuss key concepts of the applet, and to design simple applet. At the end of this session, learner will be able to explain life cycle of the applet and will be able to design and test the applet.
So what is an applet? An applet is a Java program that can be embedded into a web page. It runs inside the web browser and it always works at client side. We have already discussed what is an applet. Before we discuss fundamentals of applet, you must be able to write the answers of these two questions. The first question is about writing the steps to compile and execute a Java program. And second, which is the method used to display output in Java? Now why these questions? Because before we discuss the fundamentals and the examples of applet, we should be able to compare general Java program and applets. So to differentiate, these two questions are important questions. So let us see actually what is applet and how it works. Before discussing working of an applet, here are some fundamentals. Whenever we use an applet, we must import two packages. One is applet package and second is AWT package. Now what is AWT? AWT is Abstract Window Toolkit. So when we want to use an applet, these two are important packages. The applet class is contained in the java.applet package. Applet contains several methods that give you detailed control over the execution of your applet. Here, applets are not executed by console-based Java runtime interpreter, but it is necessary to use either web browser or an applet viewer. So applets are executed only either using web browser or an applet viewer. Execution of an applet does not begin with main method. Up till now, we have written different Java programs and we have written main method in Java program. The difference between all earlier general Java program and applet is applet does not begin at main method. One more question was asked on earlier slide, which is the method used to display output on screen. Up till now, the method that we have used is system.out.print or println. But when we are using applet, then output to your applets window is not performed by this method, but it always uses drawString method. So that is the difference between general Java program and applet program. AWT method used, that is drawString, to display the output at specified location. We will discuss applet architecture key concepts. An applet is a window-based program, An applet resembles a set of interrupt service routines. What happens in interrupt service routine is whenever some interrupt occurs, then based on that interrupt, particular service routine is called. Here, applets are event driven. So, whenever some event occurs, accordingly, applet works on that event. That is why it resembles a set of interrupt service routine. AWT notifies about an event by calling an event handler that has been provided by the applet. Once this happens, the applet must take appropriate action. So based on the event, it is conveyed to event handler, which is provided by an applet. Applet takes action based on that event and it returns the control to AWT. This is a crucial point. Up till now, in all other Java programs other than Applet, a program initiates action. That is, program asks user to enter something. But here in Applet, the user initiates interaction with an applet. For example, mouse clicked, key pressed. All these are different types of interactions from the user. That is, these are the events. And based on these events, the applet works, and after executing, it again returns control to AWT. So, the program that is written, which is applet program, works on the specific action in response to events, and the control is returned to AWT runtime system.
5 methods form life cycle of the applet: init, start, paint, stop, and destroy. Out of these 5 methods, 4 methods, that is init, start, stop, and destroy, these are defined by applet class, while paint is defined by the AWT component class.
Applet lifecycle has these 5 important methods. Out of these 5 methods, first 3 methods, that is init, start, and paint, are called when applet begins, while the last 2 methods, that is stop and destroy, these are called when applet terminates. Let us discuss each of these 5 methods one by one. The first method that is always called is init method. Whenever applet begins, init is the first method to be called. All the variables are initialized in this init method. Init method is always called only once during the lifetime of any applet. The second method is start method. As init method is called only once, thus that is first time when the applet is loaded, the start method is called each time an applet's HTML document is displayed on the screen. So this method is always called after init method. It is called when you minimize and again maximize HTML document. It is also called when the applet is restarted after it has been stopped. So whenever user leaves a web page and comes back, the applet resumes execution at start method. The third method that we'll discuss is paint method. The applet window, whenever it is minimized and then restored, paint is also called. So it is invoked in these two cases, whenever the applet begins its execution and whenever applet initialized and then restored. So whatever will be the cause, whenever the applet must redraw its output, paint is always called. So these three methods, that is init, start and paint, these three methods are called at the beginning of an applet. Last two are stop and destroy method. Stop is always called when the applet is probably running and then you want to stop it. So you should use stop to suspend threads that don't need to run when the applet is not visible. So stop is called when a web browser leaves HTML document and goes to another page. Suspends threads, stop always suspends threads that don't need to run when applet is not visible. And the last method is destroy method. Whenever you want to free all the resources that applet is using, you can use destroy method. And whenever you use destroy method, before that stop method is always called. So destroy is called when applet needs to be removed completely from the memory.
Applet development follows 3 steps. First, edit a Java source file, then compile it, and third step is execution. You can execute it through Applet Viewer. Execute the Applet Viewer specifying the name of Applet source file. The Applet Viewer will encounter the applet tag within the comment and execute the applet. So we'll follow these 3 steps. We'll write our first applet program. Let us write and compile and execute applet. The applet begins with 2 import statements. The first statement imports the abstract window toolkit package, which contains abstract window toolkit classes. Applet interacts with the user through the AWT. The AWT contains support for window-based graphical interface. The second import statement imports the applet package, which contains the class applet. Every applet that you create must be a subclass of applet. So here extends keyword is used. So inheritance, by using inheritance, applet skeleton class is created, which is subclass of applet. To execute an applet using applet viewer, you need to write appropriate applet tag. Here in comments, the applet tag is written. The width and height statements are written to specify the dimensions of the display area used by the applet. 5 methods are written here: init, start, paint, stop and destroy. Out of these 5 methods, 4 methods init, start, stop and destroy are defined by applet class, while paint method is defined by the AWT component class. When applet begins, init is the first method to be called. Init is used for initialization of variables. Init is called once, that is when the first time an applet is loaded. Whereas start is called each time an applet's HTML document is displayed on the screen. So if a user leaves a web page and comes back, the applet resumes execution at start. Third method, that is paint method, redisplays contents of a window. Stop is called when a web browser leaves the HTML document containing the applet, that is, when it goes to another page. Destroy is called when applet needs to be removed completely from the memory. Stop must be called before destroy method. Although this skeleton does not do anything because we have not written any code inside any of these methods, but it can be compiled and executed. When it is executed, it generates the window when viewed with an applet viewer. Applet classes, applet program can be compiled in the same way like other Java programs. So let us compile the applet using Javac. However, running applet involves a different process. There are two ways in which you can execute an applet. You can execute an applet within a Java compatible web browser, or you can use applet viewer. An applet viewer executes the applet in a window. This is generally the fastest and easiest way to test the applet. Here we'll use applet viewer to view or display the contents. As you can see, the applet is displayed with specified width and height, but nothing is displayed here within the applet because we have not written anything in any of the 5 methods. We have discussed different applet concepts, fundamentals of applet, applet life cycle. Then we have discussed 2 examples of the applet. Here are things to remember. An applet is a window-based program. It must import 2 packages, applet and AWT. Applets are executed by either a web browser or an applet viewer. Applets do not need a main method. 5 methods are used in applet: init, start, paint, stop and destroy. Applet works at client side.